On my previous video, I talked about say Jim, the football side, about the teams you own and everything. And we said, do you think say Jim is doing this for the passion, or is just one of those billionaires thing that you write down when you're sitting down, you tell people I own this, I own this. Why do they own different sports? Why do they own different teams? Why they can't just stick? If you are saying you're going to be in sport, stick to that. If you're having other ventures, why can't you sell your shareholding stakes there? Then you just stick to one thing. I think this thing is becoming a confusion because we've got people who are under Ineos, who are doing things at Manchester, who don't know about soccer. Some people for cycling, like say Dev. There's a lot of chefs in the kitchen here, and it's gonna spoil the meal. We've already seen the results of Manchester. Manchester are worse now under Amaron. Let me talk about his other sporting ventures. Cycling, which is called Ineos Grenadiers, the cycling team. It was acquired from Sky Team, which was very successful. This team have been dominant in Grand Tours, e.g. the Tour de France, Giro Italia, etc. They've acquired good riders, the likes of Egon Bernal, Geraint Thomas, Chris Froome. They are also winning in the one-day event, the shorter format of cycling, because the tours, they take longer, but now they're also being champions. They are doing well in the shorter. They've been very successful in cycling. That's when Ineos really made a name in their sporting ventures. That's where, say, Bradford have become the right-hand man of Radcliffe because of the success which they've done in cycling. But cycling is different from soccer. That's my take. Formula One, they partnered with the Mercedes. They've got 1/3 ownership, which is 33 point something percent ownership of Mercedes as of 2020. They've won 2020 championship, constructors championship. They've won the 2021 again constructors championship. The branding, the name is known everywhere. All of you, we know Sir Lewis Hamilton have been dominating that sport, and he's sponsored by Ineos. They've been doing well in the Formula One. But now we've seen recent declines because as of 2022 up to now, they haven't won the championship. They haven't been at number one. The previous season and the year before, Lewis was number two, but this season he was nowhere near the top three. We've seen the rise. This is not due to their failures per se, but it's due to the success of other teams. We've seen the rise of Red Bull. Red Bull under Max Verstappen has been doing well. He's now done it 2 times the Drivers' Championship last season and this season, which just finished. We've seen the rise of McLaren. They claimed the Constructors' Championship. We've seen also Ferrari. They're always there. It's a legendary team. Ineos and Mercedes, they've lost one of the greatest drivers ever. Sir Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari. So it's something which we can say it's a failure for you to not be able to keep such an asset. That's something which I've seen. They're also involved into sailing. They call it Ineos Team UK for the American Cup. They've put money in that British sailing team. They've put money. Their aim is to bring the cup to UK. First time it hasn't been done. He partnered with the legendary Sir Ben, one of the greatest sailors ever. He's the one who's controlling the boat, whatever you call it, but it's a partnership with Ineos. They've measured with the technology from Formula One, all those aerodynamics, all those technicalities to do with wind, performance and everything. They are interchanging the partnership. They're taking the expertise from this department, putting it to this department. It's a good thing. But that sport, there's also the New Zealand, the Emirates and what. So it's difficult for them. They haven't won the cup. since 2017, even 2021, they failed. The recent one, which was done last year, they almost did it, but they couldn't win it again. It's still the Emirates, the team from New Zealand, which is doing well. But we can't say it has been bad. They've tried, we've seen, they've put their investment, they've put their money there. It will come back to the question. There's a lot of things going around. How do you concentrate on one team? How do you put all your energy on Manchester United? That's where the problem is. These guys who are owning these teams, they've got a lot of interest. We need someone who wakes up. When he wakes up, he's thinking Manchester. We need someone when he's sleeping with the pajamas of Manchester United. Those are the type of people who are supposed to own the football club. I don't know what to say. Not these billionaires who've got assets everywhere. Say Jim lives in Monaco, in France, there. The boats are there. He's everywhere. He's a global citizen. So the pain we feel when Manchester loses, I don't think they feel that's a pain. It's just a game to them that this is another team of mine. Are we going to get money? Did you get points? Are we losing? Who needs to be fired? They don't really see it the way we see it, that every day we are thinking of the club. We are trying to record content to talk about the club. They don't see it like that. He's also invested in rugby. He invested with the New Zealand rugby in 2021. And that's the All Blacks, the ladies, the sevens team, the juniors. He's invested a lot there. He also invested in a team called Racing 92, which is in France. They've put money. Their exposure, their signage is everywhere. We can see the investment which they've done. But the disadvantage about this, there's been backlash from the club, from the fans. The fans are not happy with the corporate influence in this agreement. They're saying maybe too much money coming into New Zealand is going to affect the tradition. You know, rugby and New Zealand is like... it's a staple thing. It's one of their biggest tradition. It's something which they value in New Zealand. New Zealand is known for rugby. If there's a sport which New Zealand is known for, it's known for everyone knows the All Blacks. The All Blacks are like Brazil when it comes to soccer. The All Blacks are like India when it comes to cricket. The All Blacks are like, what else? Usain Bolt when it comes to running. Is like a Ferrari when it comes to Formula One. That's how this brand is big. That's how it's big. So a lot of people are complaining. Now recently they've been sued. There's a court action which is going to be against them. They are suing Ineos for breach of contract. The contract was supposed to end 2027, but now they cancelled the contract. So New Zealand also is complaining, why did you cancel the contract when everything is not finished? The other failure, they recently lost the final to South Africa. The Boks, as you know, the Boks is the best team ever. They lost the final. So there's been a steady decline of New Zealand. Even the rugby championship, they lost also. The Boks won that one. In New Zealand are being beaten by other teams where you don't expect. It's no longer the fearsome New Zealand. So those are some of the weaknesses which I can say, which is involved into Ineos sport. I don't know what to say about this. I did the other video, now this is the second one, about Sir Jim and his investment in sport. Is it time for them to go? Is it time for them to go? Should we pull in the plug? Should we start now to talk about it? Should we start to have conversation about the ownership of Ineos and Sir Jim? I don't know. What's your take on that? If you believe that I said something which might be useful, drop a comment. Just put a comment below. Likes. Let's push the video and let's discuss where you are. Do you think Ineos are the right people to run this club? In overall, he has been successful in his sporting ventures. That one we can give it to him. But the problem is, him has got a long approach which might work in other sports. Like the time they took to build that boat, New Zealand, the national team, he thinks that, okay, World Cup is after 4 years or whatever. Athletics, you are think of Olympics, if I can get a runner who runs there, cycling, things like that. It's those sports with a long approach. Now, when it comes to football, we need results every day. We need to be in the top 4 every season. We need to play in the Champions League. We need to attract players. It's something for every day. There's no one who's got patience for 2028, like what they are telling us that we're going to win the Premier League in 2028. We don't have patience for that because people are laughing at us. We can't even go and drink with our friends. We can't even go and mingle, talk with our friends because we're afraid people are going to insult us about beaten week in, week out. I don't know, guys. That's my take. Can we give them a chance? Or it's time for them to walk out? Please drop a comment. This is your United Uncle. If you like my comment, just like. Thank you.